We live in a world where almost everything is controlled by hidden systems. Finance, politics, information, but there's another silent system. One that shapes something we do every single day, 2, 3 or more times a day eating. From a young age, we're taught that the foundation of a healthy diet should be built on grains, whole cereals, vegetable oils, and light products. We're bombarded with commercials, supermarket posters, and official guidelines that repeat like a mantra. Eat less meat. Avoid animal fat. But what if all of this was just part of a bigger illusion? Stay until the end, because I'll reveal the truth they never told you about sugar, and it might be the most important information of your life. What if, just like the financial matrix, we are trapped in a food matrix designed to keep us sick, dependent, and submissive? Look around. What do you see? Most people are overweight, inflamed, or chronically ill. Doesn't that seem strange? Considering we live in an era of nutrition science and dietary awareness, maybe the problem isn't ignorance, but misinformation. Even the doctors you trust may still be plugged into the matrix, repeating what they were taught, not what truly heals. Today we're going to remove the blindfold and uncover the truths they don't want you to know. That a carnivore diet is the most natural for human beings, that fat is not the enemy, and that sugar is the real poison filling supermarket shelves and hospital beds. In ancient times and throughout the Middle Ages, food was a symbol of social class. The powerful kings, warriors, lords, ate meat, hunted animals, fish, eggs, and dairy, while peasants and slaves survived mainly on grains, legumes, and bread. It was, quite literally, human feed. This wasn't just economic, and it was symbolic. Meat represented strength, vitality, and power. Grains were cheap, easy to store, and perfect for feeding large working populations, but they kept people weak and obedient. History shows that the most feared warriors, the steppe nomads, medieval knights, and ancient hunter tribes, lived almost entirely on meat and animal fat. It's no coincidence. Real food was always reserved for those who held power, while grains were for the masses, the fuel for productivity, not independence. One of the greatest nutritional deceptions in modern history was the demonization of animal fat. The human brain, the very organ that makes us human, is composed of roughly 60% fat and 75% water. It is literally a fatty organ, dependent on lipids and cholesterol to function properly. Fat isn't just energy. It's essential. It builds cell membranes, supports hormone production, and protects the nervous system through myelin, a fatty substance that insulates neurons. It also enables the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Without sufficient fat, the brain suffers. People deprived of this nutrient develop memory problems, cognitive decline, and even emotional disorders. Now think about it. If the human brain is made of fat, why have we been told that eating fat is dangerous? In the mid-20th century, nutrition science was manipulated by powerful interests. Studies funded by the sugar industry shifted the blame for heart disease from sugar to saturated fat and cholesterol, letting sugar walk free. For decades, the mantra was, eat less fat, choose light products, avoid red meat. The result? An explosion of obesity, diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases. While people avoided butter and lard, they were consuming margarine, refined vegetable oils, and tons of hidden sugar in ultra-processed foods. Here's what they don't want you to know. Cancer cells feed primarily on glucose. Sugar is their favorite fuel. Without it, tumors weaken. Research has shown how low-carb diets can slow tumor growth by starving cancer cells of energy. Sugar isn't just sweet, it's addictive. It acts on the brain in the same way as drugs, triggering pleasure and reward circuits. And the damage goes far beyond addiction. Constant sugar spikes lead to insulin resistance, paving the way for type 2 diabetes. It feeds chronic inflammation, accelerates aging through glycation, weakens the immune system, and directly fuels cancer cells. There's also something almost no one talks about. It's impossible to detoxify or deparasitize the body while consuming sugar. Parasites, fungi, and harmful bacteria thrive in glucose-rich environments. If you want to truly cleanse your body, restore gut health, and rebuild strength, you must eliminate sugar. So if sugar is so harmful, why is it in everything? Because it keeps the cycle of consumption and disease alive. Ultra-processed foods are cheap to make and highly addictive. People addicted to sugar buy more, eat more, get sicker, and become lifelong customers of the pharmaceutical industry. Meanwhile, the media, financed by the same corporate powers, keeps repeating the script. Red meat is bad, animal fat causes heart disease. Fear sells, and in the background they push processed alternatives, cereals, granola bars, whole grain cookies, and zero-sugar sodas. It's the perfect matrix. You believe you're making healthy choices, but in reality, you're only feeding the system. Now brace yourself. This might be the hardest truth to accept. Salads and raw vegetables are not as healthy as you think. Plants produce anti-nutrients such as oxalates, phytates, and lectins, chemical defenses that block mineral absorption, irritate the gut, and cause inflammation. Plant fibers and cellulose cannot be digested by humans, leading to bloating, gas, and poor digestion. Many vegetables also accumulate pesticides and heavy metals, and their nutrients, when present, have low bioavailability compared to animal foods. The idea that salads equal health is a modern myth, a product of food industry. Marketing that glorified vegetables, grains, and oils as good while demonizing meat. In reality, humans evolved as carnivores. Our bodies thrive on animal protein and fat, not leaves and seeds. Humans evolved as hunters, not grazers. Our ancestors survived and thrived on meat, organs and fat as their primary energy sources. Fruits, roots, and honey appeared seasonally, not daily. Grains were rare, and when used were fermented or cooked for hours to reduce toxins. The modern diet, based on flour, sugar, and vegetable oils, is barely 100 years old. In evolutionary terms, that's the blink of an eye. Our bodies haven't adapted, and the consequences are clear. An epidemic of obesity, inflammation, and chronic disease. Returning to a carnivore or animal-based diet is not a fad. It's a reconnection with our biological design. When you truly see the food matrix, you realize it's not just about food, it's about control. Controlling a population's food means controlling its energy, health, and even willpower. Well-nourished people, clear-minded, strong, and focused, are hard to manipulate. But people addicted to sugar and carbs live on emotional roller coasters, seeking short-term pleasure and constant comfort, exactly what the system wants. Waking up takes courage. It means questioning what you've been taught, rejecting the colorful commercials, and facing the uncomfortable truth. The meat and fat they demonized are your greatest allies. The sugar and grains they glorified are your invisible chains. Now the choice is yours. You can stay inside the matrix, believing that whole grain bread, natural juices, and low-fat products will save you. Or you can step out, see reality for what it is, and give your body the fuel it was always meant to have. Animal protein and fat, free from the sugary poison that sustains the system. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and emperor, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And perhaps we can adapt his wisdom. The strength of your life depends upon the quality of your food. So I ask you, will you remain trapped in the supermarket aisles of the Matrix? Or will you dare to step out and rediscover the real world that's been in front of you all along? Did you like the video? Then subscribe to the channel